I thought I was focused today to discuss briefly how we're approaching it, given the fact that elections have consequences, and there were some people who thought that if somebody else was elected president, we would have sustainability standards mandated in our country this year, but that didn't happen. So now it's very interesting because the corporate sector is going to have to take up the mantle, and we're going to have to lead because actually on behalf of my grandchildren, 100-year climate events happening every year is just a little too much. So what is our commitment? What is NASDAQ's commitment to sustainability? Well, for the last 6 years, we've had a corporate sustainability program, and that's been there, and it's growing literally by the month. Through that program, we engage with listed companies, investors, standard setters, regulators, and other stock exchanges on the market impact of sustainability issues, specifically environmental, social, and corporate governance data, otherwise known as ESG. And Paul and Amran spoke to that, and I think those are very, very important places to start because that is a place where we can have an effect. Effective management of sustainability issue helps NASDAQ and our listed companies better understand operational performance, address resource inefficiencies, and forecast enterprise risk. In addition, there is a growing body of academic and analytic evidence suggesting that ESG excellence correlates with other benefits such as lower cost of capital, reduced shareholder turnover, and enhanced talent recruitment and retention. With renewed market emphasis on long-term value creation, we also believe that ESG is an effective and mutually beneficial communications channel between public companies and the investment community, which is not an easy task. I mean, once I was sent out to take the temperature of some of the good government groups that are pushing very heavily. They're essentially sustainability advocates, and wanted to see whether or not we could get trade-offs. So we came up and said, how's about certain kinds of mandated sustainability data requirements, and in exchange for that, we would advocate for semi-annual reporting instead of quarterly reporting. Some were for it, others were against it. So there are a whole lot of issues that within our own community I think we should debate because these are issues that are real-world issues, and it comes up in a lot of ways. To broaden understanding of these dynamics and to solicit feedback from our shareholders, NASDAQ hosts regular webinars, in-person events, and small-scale workshops. We have also discussed our findings in the ESG Reporting Guide, NASDAQ Sustainability Report, and other publications freely available on our website. We are ourselves long-standing reporters to several sustainability frameworks, including the Global Reporting Initiative and the United Nations Global Compact. For the last 2 years, NASDAQ has been honored to be one of the world's most sustainable companies in the Dow Jones Sustainability Index. What are the pros and cons of the NASDAQ sustainability effort? Pros: our brand and our advocacy on this topic has enabled us to collaborate with virtually all of the global sustainability efforts, among them the Sustainability Accounting Standards Board and the recent Task Force on Non-Financial Climate Disclosure, TCFD. Through these connections and others, NASDAQ is able to stay apprised and of the developments in the space, represent the views or the point of views of ourselves and our listed companies, and help to drive smart, practical ways forward. Cons: companies that compete and survive in a resource-constrained world will become the new baseline, and market forces will reward some and punish others. NASDAQ must itself navigate this transition to new energy resources, better human capital management, more inclusive economics, and so on, and assist our listed companies in doing likewise. That is why we pursue this work, and we may fall prey to public suspicion that we are contemplating, God forbid, a mandatory ESG disclosure regimen, or soliciting data from our listed companies just to build proprietary and profiteering products. There may also be some reputational exposure if too forward-leaning on this topic, because some business leaders either reject the business case for sustainability or believe that more operational transparency inherently exposes the company to activism and litigation. So there's a whole lot going on in this space. But in the end, even with all of the conflicts, and they are conflicts, and debates, they are heated, we believe net-net, we see far more upside than potential downside for our company and the companies that engage in sustainability initiatives.